So, this is the beautiful city of Tzfat. We just had a rocket attack. Last couple of days, we've had, I don't know, maybe hundreds of rockets shot. Many forest fires outside of my home on Friday. A pretty big fire, so I was actually thinking of having to escape for Shabbos. So, this is just a little video to say, what is it like to live in Tzfat now? Because I'm sure many people are wondering. So, the truth of the matter is that since the beginning of the war, there's been a massive fallout, economic fallout, which is really a great tragedy. A lot of tourism in Tzfat, which really went down. Many people are struggling on that level. But otherwise, Tzfat is just as holy as ever. Beautiful city. I can say it's even holier. You know, when rockets are coming, you become more focused on what truly matters and what's right and what's wrong. You don't allow the insane and sick ideologies of modern perversions, which is what the challenge of life always is: truth versus the lewd and perverted desires of, if you want to call it, the flesh, and egotistical delusions of those that somehow, instead of thanking God for their comforts and their ability to survive, which is the greatest miracle ever, are just kind of, what more can I get? It's the dog syndrome. I want more, as opposed to thinking, what am I here to give? What am I here to do? So, to be honest, the last couple of days are a little scary. It's not a joke when you walking down and you see a whole bunch of rockets going off. But let us be aware that the final battle of life is truly between Islam and basically civilization, and this is much basically represented in the dream of Nebuchadnezzar. Amazing. 2,500 years ago, there was a prophecy that accurately describes the entire future. So we have 2,500 years proving this prophecy to be true. He saw a statue, and in the statue, there was a, I guess it was a man. The head was made out of gold. The arms were silver. The torso was copper or brass. And the feet were made out of iron, and some of the toes were made out of iron, and some of them were out of hardened dirt. And then a stone came and smashed the statue turned to dust, and the dust blew away in a wind, and the stone turned into a mountain. And Nebuchadnezzar got upset because he couldn't understand this dream, so he went out, started to kill all his wise men who couldn't explain it. And then when the henchmen came to Daniel, he said, "Don't worry, I will tell the king what it means." He says, God is showing you the future. Your kingdom is compared to gold. The next kingdom, which was Persia, was compared to silver. The next kingdom, which was Greece, Alexander the Great, was compared to copper. And the next kingdom, which was compared to Rome, was iron. Then in the very end of time, there'll be a tussle of power between the Arab tribe and the West, which we're kind of seeing, whether we realize it or not. That's been going on for the past 50 years. You know, that God gave them a lot of oil, and then their natural sadism and basically humiliation for the time that Abraham expelled on God's instruction Yishmael from the house. That sense of humiliation is still there with them. And when people feel, as Lawrence of Arabia, who knew the Arabs very well, said, they have what's called a xenophobic tendency. It's a shame that when you have the shame, you're embarrassed of people that are actually anyone else, because you feel that when somebody's looking at you, they're actually embarrassing you. And so there's this, tremendous hatred and sadism towards others. And that kind of became canonized in Islam, almost like a religious sadism. And that is what Islam, at least the violent Islam, which is a very large part of, certainly the entire part of all these organizations, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, all of these people, they have this tremendous violence in them, sanctioned by the religion. They see you as an infidel or kafir, as an other, and that the religion gives them the right and the actually obligation to kill you and worse. And so the final frontier of this battle is, whether we like it or not, either we're going to destroy them, or they're going to destroy us. And this is what's going on in Europe. It's subtly happening in America, but with Obama Hussein was a Muslim, certainly according to Islamic law, person born to a Muslim father. He definitely had background in Islam. He definitely favored Islam and radical and violent Islam as well. And last but not least, he helped Iran get nuclear weapons, which is there, as I asked an Iranian once, why do they need nuclear weapons? And remember that many of them are against the government. And he said, well, that's because they actually believe that when the world will be filled with blood up to a horse's knee, the Messiah will come. And we have the atomic agency clearly saying that they lied, they're creating nuclear weapons. So we're in a final moment in history, and ultimately it's not a physical moment. It's nothing that you could do physically. It's a spiritual moment, because spiritually you can just kind of focus on what matters in life, focus on doing the small things that matter, and God runs the world, and every small act that we do below creates a massive reflection above. And so therefore, just like the sun is moving and a tiny little shadow on earth, it means the sun moved millions, or I don't know, hundreds of thousands or thousands and thousands of miles. So also every little thing that we do on earth, we create a massive reflection on heaven. So let's move forward in life. Let's engage in what truly is going to bring the Mashiach. L'chaim v'levracha.